back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new, I welcome you all. I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life stories with Asperger's syndrome and the like, along with tips and advice, be it your general health versus your mental health, along with fun and games to take you on a journey what my life is like, as well as many other mixtures of variety of topics that I might share. So if you're into any of these, feel free to smash the subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen to join me on the bandwagon as a family member, and while doing so, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. So it has been brought to my attention while I've been watching or binge watching some of the videos right now that it has caught to my attention right now that I was talking to a guy named Frankie, who's also known as LostBoyLooking on YouTube. So this one's going to be based on a response to his video of the topic that he was talking about for his Hard Hat Tuesday, called "Why is it hard to say I love you?" or "Why is it hard just to feel loved?" or what have you. So hopefully you guys will like this and let me know, and I'll hopefully answer some of your questions below as well if you've got any. So as we know, this isn't going to be a really hard one to share regardless, even though this is difficult for many of us to actually express ourselves in a way of how we feel. But I feel in my heart right now, while I've been pondering about this, while that question popped up, it actually triggered me to a point that in my soul, thinking, yes, sometimes in our lives we do tend to question this in our lives, regardless what we go through and or the like there. You know, we do have a standing point in our lives that, you know, do we feel loved and wanted, accepted by that other partner in it, right? Sometimes in our lives we come to the point that maybe we're having a fear of commitment or commitment issues with that particular someone. That's fine, because obviously we need to work on ourselves if we are the problem and not that other person, because obviously that other person is looking for maybe someone for the rest of their life to commit to and whatnot. But the real deal here, I feel, is that you need to be real and honest into yourself as well as to the other person, because it's not fair just holding them back, you know, and holding them down just for the sake of you thinking you can just return to them just like a piece of cake that you're eating and just wanting to have a bit of fun on the side or whatever reason it may be, hearsay. Sometimes also I feel that we tend to most likely look for love in the wrong places or with the wrong person, hearsay. Or we just want to feel loved, wanted and accepted, as I shared before briefly, by others around us, as we're finding, you know, the right one for us to commit to and settle down with. And you may be wondering, what is the one? You know, even though now many psychologies has been saying right now that there's no such thing as the one, as, you know, you commit to, hearsay, but I beg to differ. But there are a few questions you need to ask yourselves though, basically, or so to speak, 4 of them maybe, so bear with me. The first question you might need to ask yourself is, or just briefly is, how do we know the person we are with is the one for us or just right for us to, you know, date or commit to? Many people will define love in many different ways, right? Just like, for example, just an afterthought, a feeling, an emotion, or what have you. I clearly address what is love in my definition and other people's definition basically a few months back, or even a year and a half ago or 2 ago, but I'll list it in the description bar as well as putting it above me right now if you want to go to this before you return back to the video at hand, so that you can get a gripper and better understand to what I'm saying. Because many people, obviously, as I said, has a misunderstanding of what the differentiation between love and lust is. So the real answer to this being, for the right one, that we have to have both a high level of satisfaction for being with the right one, right, and being in the right relationship, hearsay. Satisfaction, in simpler terms to how I define it is here, is for both of us, you and the partner at hand that you're with, are getting what you need from the relationship. To access that satisfaction process, there are 4 tips, as I said. So the first part of the tip is access how satisfied you are in that given relationship at this present time that you're with, you know, with the person. Break it into the different areas that you know about, be it your sex, your money, finances, emotional intimacy, communication, friendship versus, you know, what have you for self. And number 2 is, have you been more satisfied in another relationship? Classic example you may find here is that it's more easier to express yourself with your ex than you do with your current partner. Answer, communicate, or tell your partner that you're with at present what could make you more satisfied, or what you can be done to get you more satisfied. It can be easy to imagine more satisfaction in a particular area in life, be it, you know, that you want to be rich, successful, and whatever. But then when it comes down to this current relationship, that's the question you need to ask yourself. It's beneficial to the relationship to tell your partner what you wish for, i.e. maybe sex life needs to be improved or could be better with just a few changes here and there. It's okay to just take time out and actually work on yourself before you really want to commit further into the relationship, because obviously sometimes we make the mistake, we're just rushing because we're seeing in today's world that everybody is in a relationship and they're married and got kids and everything else, and we're thinking, oh shit, am I going to be on the last forefront? It's okay to be alone once in a while, you know, as I said, because obviously it gives us time to self-reflect on ourselves and to work on ourselves to be a better person, as well as, in saying this, hopefully within being that better person, while that time comes, if we find the one that we're committing to, we can actually then therefore work with the other person. Sometimes it's okay to also be a dominant or submissive kind of person in the relationship, but then it's like an equal part of just give and take and whatnot. Yes, sometimes in our lives we need to grow up. However, we may have seen or read somewhere that in some fairy tales or some classic movie or book we read, that is all about love, being loved, being wanted, being accepted, as well as finding our real true love, right? Or in another case, the happily ever after. We always dreamed of something we all want, desire, crave for, you know, example wise, being rich, being famous, being successful, being popular, and so much more. But you got to remember, some of these things die out of the materialistic things that we crave for. It's been known to society that we should be loved and feel loved, you know, by the other person, yet there are many expectations to be had or to how and what we should be feeling are based on the world around us about love. Love has been thrown about so much of this terminology or word than ever before, though. I believe that it's easy to say I love you to family, friends that are close to us, as well as even to ourselves. But then when it comes down to our partner, however, we tend to maybe withhold ourselves by saying I love you such and such, you know. And then there are many reasons to maybe why there is. It could be fear of rejection, a fear of abandonment, fear of getting so close to that person intimately, as well as just getting into that deeper level of that relationship. It could be many things. You got to remember there are the 5 languages that usually to look at as well, which again, I'll link this in the I bar above me as well as in the description below. I won't discuss more about this, but you can find out for yourself what that is if you want. Feel free to pause the video now if you wanted to go to that video and come back here so I can continue on with you guys. But first and foremost, I believe wholeheartedly we need to love ourselves, as I said before, and put ourselves first, and others has to come second. Because obviously if we don't love ourselves and accept ourselves, then what's the point of putting ourselves out there? Even though many people are fearing right now to put themselves out there because of, you know, people's expectations that they should be this, or if someone was with them, they tend to tell them what they should say, think and act like, you know, and they're not accepting them as a whole. There are bound to be the right people around us that will love us and accept us for who and what we are, though, for everything that we have to offer and give to this world. Sometimes, for some of us, though, it's hard for us to love again, for reason being maybe because we've been through a traumatic experience in the past. Like, for example, that some of us may have come out of a relationship that was abusive, and we thought that that was love, but love doesn't hurt, isn't abusive, love isn't basically rude or whatever. Like that memory verse is love is patient, love is kind, love is never boastful, so on and so forth. Sometimes it could be also from our past tragic events, as we got rejected from someone, so we just don't want to put ourselves out there anymore, and we just tend to keep to ourselves maybe, or what have you. Or even it's just maybe someone that we maybe feeling that we're crushing on doesn't feel the same way that we do, and that could be the other reasons. But then there are many other reasons, which are not 3 more that I want to clearly address, is syndrome. We would live in our lives basically in this day and age of this statement, love is instant gratification, as we love it when things are easy, fun and exciting. But when the going get tough sort of thing, we don't realise that this is reality. The quote I hate hearing sometimes is, there's plenty fish of the sea. The reason being for this quote, why this is a problematic situation, how I look at it, is that we tend to look at that partner that we're with that is expandable, replaceable and disposable, and also the words, we don't try enough. I believe today we have gotten lazy, maybe fearful, who knows, but mixed emotions as well as mixed messages based on this, and we tend to think that the grass is greener on the other side of the, of the world, or on the other side of the picket fence, as I call it. Relationships can be beautiful, and given in time, give them our last priority. Reason is that we think that there's someone else out there for us. I've come to realize in my life to who I'm being with, even though basically, I put my all in most of my relationships, is that, if you bring 2 humans together in an everyday situation where different emotions and perspectives are rolling into one that may intertwine, there will always be some misunderstandings, misgivings and what have you, but it's in that moment that we become more aware and more stronger and united and grow into better humans individually. But the question to ask yourself is, would you rather have a long-term happiness with someone, or do you want short-term instant gratification that leaves you feeling empty? Biggest mistake in the relationship is we're having both people unhappy while we're trying to fill that void of loneliness and make ourselves happy, and hopefully the opposite happy, which I talked about loving yourself or loving myself or losing myself, more to the point, and I'll link that in the description as well as in the iBar. Granted, this is a real big one. Many of us one day in our lives are felt guilty as charged. We do this to some degree. We wake up thinking that they're always going to be there for us, so why do we have to force ourselves to go the extra distance in ourselves to just make it happen? Your partner tells you how often they care about you and love you, and goes out of the way to do the little things, and are afraid to let others know how much that they, mean the world to them as well. If you're lucky enough to have someone that cares much about you, and they go out of their way to do so, to make you smile, laugh, etc., fight for them, tell them that you love them, tell them how you feel, tell the world how you feel, don't feel comfortable, keep the passion alive and ignited. Sometimes in our lives we need to know and come to a realization in our lives, if the person you're trying to love isn't willing to love back, they don't deserve our time and energy. As the saying goes, it's better to be loved than lost. It's about balance, compromise, giving and receiving, and so much. So this quickly ends a real short, brief video compilation for the request of, or response of, why is it hard to love? Smash the like if you like this. Feel free to comment below. Feel free to share these videos around. Feel free to follow me on my social medias. Feel free to also, as said before, that my merch store is open, so if any of you is interested, feel free. I'm hoping to give you guys a quick update, as said, hopefully as of maybe tomorrow or so, to just give you guys a lowdown what's been going down with my projects and so much more. So no further ado, guys. Thanks for support, thanks for watching. Do what love what you do. Until next time, I'll see you again soon.